There we go. Nice and safe. As desperately as I want to play some of my actual music that I listen to, I don't want to get banned. It's from what I hear, Twitch is getting real nasty with how they're handling music. So it'd be super cool to like chill and listen to music with people, but it doesn't seem like Twitch wants that. Like they're getting to the point where they're actually like banning people who cover music. So like even putting your own creative spin on it isn't even an option. I kind of thought that since Twitch is now with Amazon, they would like have some kind of deal where like if you're on Amazon Music, you would also give like hand over the rights to let people use it, kind of like how they do with the like watching Amazon Prime movies. You can do that, but apparently not. Or maybe that is in the works, but they're still working on it. But it's just, it really sucks. As much as I enjoy the lo-fi, it would be nice if I could get the music I actually listen to. Let me put the camera so people can actually see what I'm drawing. Just starting off with a little bit of some sketching, just to get warmed up. Kind of barely made a sketch last week. I think I just wasn't in the mood to do much drawing, but I wanted to get a stream out, so today I'm gonna try to make it. For like the entire week, I've been nonstop drawing this character with mutton chops and werewolf teeth. And I'm not exactly sure why that's been on my mind, but it's an image that like keeps coming to my head every time I think of something to draw. And sometimes you just can't fight those. Sometimes you just gotta let whatever comes to your head go out there and just try not to judge yourself too harshly when it doesn't turn out how you like. Big old jaw. This is really nice. I really love the brush pen. Let me fix the focus. I just noticed that that's all wonky now. There we go. Let me try to get closer. I'm leaning in really far and it's doing a number on my backbones. All right. I'm thinking he's got like the werewolf, the Wolfman. That's what it was called. He's got hair like the Wolfman, where it's just like this weird curled mess. It's not necessarily wild. It's actually kind of just just curly, like normal curly hair. Okay. And this is why I like to keep a kind of used up brush pen that's all gnarled and not refined at all. Because that gets to be like your sacrifice pen where you can get this messy inked look without having to worry about like using up all the sharpness of the brush, because you can see maybe how like fuzzy it is at the tip because it's just old and used, but it's still got ink, and it provides an effect that you really don't get unless it's like used up. I think I stole this technique from Tony S. Daniel, who is an artist I really, really like. Just love all his work. I think my heart just goes out to any artist that's also a writer. I'm always like so impressed by artists who can do more than just art. Like they're art and something else. That's why when I was young, I used to idolize like Leonardo da Vinci, because it's like artist and inventor. And who knows what else. I kind of want to color. I'm actually really happy with this little head sketch that was just supposed to be like a few seconds to get the stream started. But because I'm having fun, we're going to keep going. And this time I'm actually going to get a cover sheet. That way I don't bleed through to my skeleton. So let's see. We're going to do a lemon. Just to start. And that's a very light yellow, so let me go ahead and get some of a more orangish hue for like the edge of the rim. There you go. That's kind of like a classic color combination that I like to do for supernatural creatures. Yes, yellow eyes are always very unique. You don't really get them anywhere else unless something fishy's going on. Put some definition on his tongue. And what do we got for flesh tone? Here it is. Pale cherry. I think I'm going to keep this guy pretty pale. Well, I save it. See, this is why it's good to invest in marker paper, because they look a lot closer to what they're actually supposed to be whenever it's on good paper. Whenever you just go on like standard paper, it's yeah, the colors can change slightly. Usually they'll end up being a lot wetter looking. Let me turn down the music. I was just sitting here listening to music while I waited for the time to get here, so it was a little loud. But yeah. So normally this is a very, very pale, like, flesh tone. Oh, hey. Thanks for following. But yeah. So now we got his flesh tone on. Let's do some. Make these eyes a little bit more reddish, like he's really struggling. Because they could imagine that turning into a werewolf probably hurts. That was my favorite part of the American Werewolf in London movie. Just like how excruciating the transformation scene is. Like he is going through the worst transformation I have ever seen in like a movie. And I think it made a lot of sense. It's like your body transforming into a werewolf shouldn't feel good and shouldn't be like something you could just like shrug off. It should be like the worst thing you've ever felt. Yeah, it's a little bit too much purple actually. Let me try adding more blue to some other areas. Yeah, that's too blue. See, this is the issue with doing it on printer paper. But I'm getting. I was like I said, I wasn't planning on putting this much work into this drawing, but I ended up liking it. There we go. Now it's starting to come together. There we go. Yeah, I really like how that's coming together now. Let me see if I can fix the saturation a bit. Try really hard to get these like colors like as accurate to what I'm seeing. But I think it has a hard time picking up like blues compared to the reds, which are very bright on camera. But who knows? I could be making all this up. I barely know how to stream. This is a miracle that it's working. There we are. I think that's about all the work I want to put into this, because I really gotta get started on my swamp thing if I wanted Swamp Martyr if I want to be able to finish it in this stream. I say that as I'm still looking for more colors to add. Okay. One last thing. Just a little. Here we go. There you go. Got that out of my system. So now we have something to look at whenever I'm finishing this guy up. Alright. Let's zoom back out. Fix the focus. There we go. All right. So next we're gonna be doing the corona around this guy's head. Let me turn down the saturation just a touch. So we're gonna be mainly focusing up here. There we go. It looks nice. All right. So for his little corona, that's what I'm going to be calling this circle pattern around him. I'm going to be doing kind of like dead colors. So very muted greens. I don't know how many of you guys walk in forest, but like that really like compressed grass that like is really worn down and stepped on. Sometimes the pine straw and stuff like that can get really like, you know, like just this muddy brown color. So let me see if I can get some colors ready. Just to test it out. You can see with my original sketch over here, it's got this like muted brown color surrounding it and some sparks of orange. So let's try some of the orange. Yeah, let's start with this green. I think giving this a solid base color of this like really soft green. It's a little bit more saturated than what I want, but I think it's very pale, so it's like I can cover over it easily once I get around to the other colors that I add to this. I was very confused on how I was going to go about getting the corona effect done whenever I was first starting it out, but I saw someone else do a similar sketch, and the way they worked the grass into how they made the grass like center around their skeleton. So that kind of gave me inspiration. T. Vaughn is the artist that I'm thinking of. Who's just like a really like out of this world pencil artist. So yeah, I can see on the camera that this is like barely showing up, but yeah, it's a very pale green, kind of like exactly the color of like mint ice cream. So it's like that color that's just so pale that it almost doesn't even show. The orange is a little bit darker than I want it to be, so I'm gonna switch over to a different orange. So that's light orange. Let me check out my chart. So this was the orange I was using over here. So I might switch over to maybe the sardonyx or the carmine red. Let's try carmine red first. Here it is. Yeah, that's nice. That's probably like the perfect color I wanted, actually. Oy, oy. Okay. Sorry, had to fix my seating. So, what color can we add to this? I have this brown shade, this sand. So let me see how this looks real quick. Okay. It's very dark, but I think the muddiness of it is appropriate. It's a little dark for the grass, so I'm gonna look for another one. It's muddy, but it's not muddy enough. So that was the sand color, which is which one of these is sand? There we go. That's ET20. Yeah, okay. That's very dark. Um, I want to say ash rose is the color I'm looking for, but that's also a color that I use a ton. So I'm a little worried that I'm just getting a little too comfortable with that one. But let's give it a try. It's a bit too muddy, so a bit too light, so it's not actually covering anything up. So let's try RG120, a red gray. I think that might do something a little interesting. The green and red will mix with each other to make like a solid like brownish muddy color. The smart thing would do would be test this somewhere else on another piece of paper so you don't end up ruining your work. But I'm a very impatient person when it comes to art, surprisingly. Yeah, I'm really liking how this one works. Yeah, this red gray is a really useful color I've been using lately. It mixes with a lot of colors very well. Very interesting. Sorry, I'm tweaking the settings again. Okay. That's the best I think I can get the colors to show. I mean, this isn't a very like saturated area in the drawing, so it makes sense that not a lot of it's showing up. Yeah, let's try blending these shades together so it doesn't contrast too strongly with each other. There you go. All right. So next we're gonna, how are we gonna do this? These are kind of things that you usually think about before you start, but alas, I'm not a clever man. I think I'm gonna work on the rest of the flowers that are hiding in here that I added a long time ago. There's apparently a few flowers in the crown that I never got around to. Mhm. And then how are we doing this one? How are we doing the pink? I think maybe it was this light hot pink, just to start it off. And then the salmon to give it a stronger color. I think that's maybe how it worked. Then let's do just a small blue flower over here. Just mix it with some. No, it needs a stronger one. There it goes. There we go. And just maybe one more color. Is there any color that I haven't been using a lot? Let's do another PB one because the only pale blue flower you see is over there. Okay. Oh, breathed a little too hard. You know, you just get really into it all of a sudden. Let's see. So I kind of want to tone everything into like a sharper brown color. Now that I got kind of a lot of the other surrounding shades around it, the little tiny buds of flowers that like peek out of it, I can kind of get a sense of what level of saturation I want this to be. So maybe another coat of a different kind of green, like a very pale green, or trying to think of the word, a little bit more of a yellow tone to the green, so it gets like this nastier, mildewy green. That kind of natural olive tone. There we are. So now that everything's kind of covered in that, I think I want to just like bathe it all in like a really like nice brown tone. Let's go with warm gray 050. I think this might be what I'm looking for. That's actually doing almost nothing to all the colors, which is interesting. Like it's it's like the exact shade that everything is already composed of, so it's not adding or darkening anything. So let's try maybe a warm gray 1. Maybe that's gonna be stronger. Wow, adding this warm gray like does nothing. How's it showing up on the camera? Yeah, this is not doing a lot. Let's try. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep trying until I find a color that works. I have like tea color. What does that look like? Tea. That's tea. No, I don't want that kind of brown. I want something more like E380. Maybe that's what should be the one. Because remember, this one's like, yeah, that's a little bit closer. I actually get to use a chisel tip for once and not get angry when I pull it out. Yeah, everything's looking nice and dead and unhealthy. That's what I'm looking for. Let's add just some hints of the stronger colors. That way it doesn't look completely dead. Like just some specks here and there. I think I'm gonna have to blend it in so it doesn't like stand out too much. This should be the last stream I have to do with this sketch before I move on to the next one. Because I think I'm going to be able to finish the skeleton and everything in time. But we'll just have to see how long it takes me to get the colors I want on the grass. Okay, let's blend these all together. This green so it doesn't stand out too much. Ooh, I think I know what color would really add some nice depth to this grass that I'm working on. There's a color I didn't use a ton that I bet we're going to go and pull it out. This G5. It's like this winter green look color. Yeah, that's adding some nice depth. Kind of filling in some gaps that I've been avoiding. Using this new green. Yeah, I kind of like how these shades are working together. See, that's what I like about these markers. You can just slowly build layer after layer. It's like watercolor, but a tiny bit more control. For a second there, I thought the saturation wasn't working. There we go. think after this stream, I'm actually gonna start looking into pulling these past streams onto YouTube, because I do see a lot of people who do stream their art on YouTube instead of Twitch, and I do think it's a little bit smoother on YouTube. It's just like, but that might just be me because I'm always on YouTube, so I always notice artists a little bit more when they're on there. But Twitch only archives your past streams for like a month, so my first stream's already gone, so I want to start like preserving these at least to some degree, and I have a YouTube channel that I don't use anyway, so may as well. When I get around to it, I'll start adding my links for that, but that'll be after this stream. Yeah, this is really coming together. I'm glad I thought of using this tone. Because I wanted to start out with dehydrated, but I noticed that a lot of, even the softer colors I'm using on the flowers are more saturated than what I was working with. So this move to making it at least some of these darker shades of green is really working out for me. Okay. And then I'm going to head back to this light orange. This was originally the color we were going to use for the pine straw kind of color, but I decided to move to another one because it was a little too strong. And now that we're bumping up the saturation step by step, we're going to start using this orange. That's really, really nice. Now that the browns that I started to use kind of like mixed everything together, this orange is blending in with it nicely. It's kind of a mess right now, but I do kind of want it to be a mess. Because, you know, this is the portion of the picture where it starts to get a little muddy. And I might have to just, you know, go back and make sure everything matches and make everything else a little bit muddier. Because I do want this to look natural. I don't want it to look too properly placed and even. It ends up looking like a soup. Maybe, you know, that's just what we need, soup. There we go. That's kind of the whole corona. So let's zoom out to get a good look. I'll fix the camera. There we go. Come on, find it. There we go. That's the sweet spot. So yeah, it's coming together nicely. I mean, it does definitely look a little obviously separate. Like the contrast from this swamp of green to all these rich reds, blues, purples, and everything is a little bit strong and noticeable, but I might leave it that way because I think that's what I want. we'll see whenever I get to actually coloring in the bones. Uh, if it ends up evening out a little bit, because the bones are going to be this similarly swampy browns and pale greens and stuff like that. So we're going to get into that. Ooh. Give me a sec to shut my door because the dog keeps coming in. And the door doesn't shut all the way. All right. So just to start, this time I'm going straight to the swampy brown that I used a minute ago, because I know for a fact none of this skeleton is going to be white. Let's get zoomed in. We're going to start around the bottom. There we go. All right. And it's a little dark. Let me adjust that too. There we go. Ooh. That is a very dark color. But I might keep it. Yeah, it's not so bad. I think whenever you apply it on the first time, it's a little bit darker. And then once it dries out, it gets just like a hint lighter. And that little hint of lightness is exactly the shade I'm looking for, I think. We'll see. A lot of my art technique is just going with it. And if it doesn't work out, we just learn to deal with it. That's the secret. And a lot of the time, you just accidentally realize, oh, that's kind of exactly what I was going for in my head. If you kind of just like silence the doubting long enough for you to finish and don't like get freaked out about it, that's art, baby. So you guys can't hear it, but in my head, it's literally just like, you're ruining it. This is the worst thing you've ever done. Yada, yada, yada. But I also ignore that part of my head when I'm drawing. And then whenever I'm done, I'm like, wait a second. I was wrong. This is the worst. No, I'm just kidding. So something weird happened here. It looks like the ink started to run. I'm not exactly sure which ink that is, because I did use my brush pen, and I think that does actually leak a little, which is disappointing. But we're just gonna roll with it. So it's two different kinds of inks. It's whatever is in the brush pen, then it's the Micron archival ink. And I know for a fact that archival ink is really resistant to like bleeding with anything. But the brush pen, who knows what ink is in there? So that might be what's causing all the bleed. All the bleed. I mean, it's just this one section so far. But now I'm being a little careful with what I touch. So we're just sapping out all the white from the bones. We don't want a drip of white. This is not preserved artificial bone. This is natural, nasty brown bone. Kind of bones you find laying in a ditch, not in a morgue. getting? Okay. How high am I getting on the sheet? Not in general.
Are you leaving me?
There we go. So now we pretty much sapped all the white out of it, and it is just a muddy brown looking thing. Let's also get around to doing it to the face cover, because that's kind of just like this unprepared linen. That's the only like semi-artificial thing I want in the drawing. But even that one's like, it's unprepared, so it's like this nasty muddy color, and it's already rotting. You can see like holes in like around the bottom. And I think I'm actually gonna put a little bit of a green on it too, just to have like a little bit of that like rotting look. See, this is the aspect where it's a little bit like watercolor, where I can just make these splotches of color and it doesn't, and it blends itself because of the alcohol. All right. So let's get another look at it again now that we've taken out all the white. It's still a little bright over here, so let me turn off that lamp. Turn it back on. But let's use the slider. Come on, I can reach it. There you go. So just dim the lamp so it doesn't look so strong on here. There we go. It's a little bit more even. Okay. So next we're gonna add some more depth to the bone. Let's see. So this is the shade that I was using. We're zooming in again. I really hate the autofocus on this thing, because every time the camera shakes, it starts having a fit. Anyways, so this is the color we have for the base tone of the skeleton. So I might have to just resort using a gray. Maybe this red gray over here to add some deeper shades while preserving the brown. Maybe just a cool gray. There's also a neutral. Oh wait, that is the neutral. So yeah, maybe R120 and CG050 to add some depth to the bone. Where are my colors? So the R120. I remember the R110 being different. Okay. Yeah, that one's not close. And the CG50, we got them both out. Hey, welcome back, little dog. I have no food over here, so you can leave. Let's start down here. Sorry, I have to fix the camera. Oh yeah. That color. These colors were made for each other. I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, those colors mixed perfectly. And just for another layer of depth, let's go ahead and test what this gray looks like. So we can get even deeper values. Because I could tell that the red gray is mixing very nicely with it. But I think it's once it dries, it's going to get a little bit too close. So it needs an even darker shade for like a third layer. So instead of the cells shaded two-tone, it's going to be three-tone. And so now that it's had time to dry, you can definitely see that um, the red gray is kind of just blending into everything, blending into the ash gray or ash rose, because they're very similar apparently already. So that's why I went ahead and grabbed the gray just in case. So this one should look separate even when it dries. So it's almost like I get a second chance to give it shading, give it depth. I mean, same thing. I think I forgot to add the other gray to that one. I gotta sleep. Sorry if that freaked anybody out. I didn't have enough time to prepare for that sneeze. There we go. So now it's looking nice and gray. Nice and bony. So I think we're going to add find another shade to start getting some brown back into this. Because I want these little gaps between the vertebrae. I want that to be a different shade. So let me look through. I think I might use... What are we thinking? Maybe this lipstick neutral? I think that's going to be way too strong, but we're going to try it. Oh no! Hey! That is nice. I think realistically on skeletons that part kind of like dies or deteriorates off because I think it's like a mix of like some muscle that... What am I, a scientist? Yeah, that worked really well. So you could tell it's like some kind of other section to the bone. It gives a vague look of I know what I'm doing, even if that's not exactly true. And then I do want to add some green too to it, just to some places here and there. That way you get like the sense of like some of the moss and stuff is sticking to it. I might actually pull out that really deep green that I've been using, just to see how that looks. There it is. Because, like I said, it's kind of this pale green is what I'm gonna say. So if I use it very sparsely, I can kind of give the effect of vines. Some kind of green getting attached to it. And it also gives me an opportunity to add some texture to the bone, so it's not just these smooth things. I like this, but I'm gonna also add some other color just to work with it. I'm gonna need like an olive-ish color, just something with a little bit more yellow to it. That's perfect. That's the one. I'm gonna start with this one, and then I'm gonna go back to that other green that I was using, because I think both of them together will work perfectly. I think this is giving you like an effect like the grass and nature is taking the skeleton with it. Like it's becoming a part of nature itself. Kind of just, what happens whenever your body starts to decompose. Although this isn't like covered in maggots and worms, that is essentially what's happening. He's got green fingers, salad fingers. How's that looking? There we go. Let's get some more of the darker green that I said I would add. Just adding depth anywhere I can. So now that really sells the moss look for it, because it actually gives some depth to the whatever is being added on there. We're just gonna say it's moss. Okay, that worked really nice. Let me also add just a little bit more. Kind of thinking I should round out the kind of shadows on this roof cage, so you get kind of this. It's a different gray. Let me try using the other one. There we go. Much darker. Kind of get a sense of the roundness of the rib cage. Head to the other side. Also want to just kind of shadow out these areas. That way you can tell they're kind of underneath the arms, and they're not kind of like making everything too chaotic. You can a little bit more clearly read that which bones are supposed to be on top of the other. also like just before I move on to the head, I forgot what it was called for a minute. I do want just a hint more color in the bone because it's very gray, and I just want like the slightest little hint of brown in it. So I think maybe brick beige is the color I'm looking at. It's like a bit of a yellowish tan. And I don't know if that's exactly what I want. Yeah, actually I do think I'm liking this one. Reminds me of like a kind of like a tree. It's like this pale tree, that not like a pine, but like an oak. I've got no idea what an oak tree looks like. I don't know why I said that. I think I'm thinking of Minecraft terms. Yeah, I'm digging this one. Just so it's not all completely gray. Like it's got some more warm colors. There we go. Here, yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. Now that it's all shaded in, you get that really like worn natural brown color for the skeleton, because it's not, like I said, it's not this bleached white nice thing that you find in a science lab. It's a body you just found perfectly placed in the dirt that's been sitting there for a while. And I think I'm just gonna jump right into adding this yellow that I like, this yellowish brown that I like for the face mask, for the veil. That's what it's called. That's what you put over the face. So immediately everything's gonna be warmer on the face. Then I'm going to add a little bit more brown to it, so it accentuates some kind of difference. Because I mean, I already used the yellowish brown on the skeleton, so I need something to distinguish this from the rest of the bone. So it's not just so your eyes don't glaze over and just see it as more bone. It's something different. I think that lipstick neutral is also going to work well with this. Yeah. It's going to blend it in. The darker brown. Blah. The other brown that I just added a second ago. So this gives like also an opportunity to add some depth to everything. You can put in shadows for like his crown. There it is. And this is good, but we're gonna keep going because I think it needs a little bit more gray, a little bit more of a darker shade. And I think I'm going to do something similar to add some of the green underneath, kind of like it's rotting from the bottom or the edges first. Let's blend that a bit because I think I want it contrast a little strong. And I'm wondering if I can just add the slightest bit of the darkest brown I have. We were like right on the edge of finishing this guy. Just the lightest little hints of it. Just to really get that final punch with like depth. Okay, how are we looking? There we are. I don't think I'm done just yet. I'm gonna probably take a few more minutes to look at it, just to see if everything's looking how I want. But this is a good sense for what the final is gonna be. Don't really know what that means, but I said it. Let's try. Oh, it's at an angle, that's why. There we go. It's the entire thing from tippy top. I think I'm gonna add some of that, some of the brown that I had, also to the bone. Just like slice that hint. Oop, missed it there. Let's blend some of this brown that I'm using in because it's starting to freak me out a bit. Like I said, that thing in my head is always going where it's telling me that I'm making a mistake. So let's kind of soothe that beast a little bit. Just blending them in so the contrast isn't so sharp and you can actually see. And it's not bad. Everything works together. We're all partners here. All these colors are browny and get along together so well. Just to get a little bit more brown into the bone. Come on. There we go. Trying to pop it over the top without. Soothe the demons. Calm the doubt in your mind. I feel like I'm Bob Ross at this point. Alright, let's see what else can I be adding. I'm gonna add some of this brown that I was adding all to the bone to here as well. some more of the light orange to extend the saturation. Those are words that make sense, I promise. I'm not just making it up as I go along, I promise. Where did that orange go? I was about to get really upset with myself if it was sitting in my hand. It shouldn't be this hard to find. It should just be the one that looks orange. I didn't put it in the wrong bag, did I? I did put this one in. Yep, there it is. I put it in the wrong bag. There we go. That's nice. Now that I added the darker brown shade to the pine straw, it lets the other orange kind of make up for it. So instead of the darkest shade being the light orange, now it's a mid-tone. So pretty much everything gets a tiny bit more saturated. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Mm-hmm. Just adding some depth to some colors I noticed don't have a lot of variety to them. The light blues were especially whatever I used for the undertone wasn't very dark, so I'm going to like an actual blue to add the second shade. It's not necessarily the pale blues, so it's going to look a little bit different from the rest of the drawing, but a little bit too different in my taste. All right, what else? Could add some more? Are we good? How are we looking? Get into position a little bit further, angle a little bit higher to the right. There you go. I think that's good. Perfect. Focus. That's the move. Okay. Any last adjustments? Not sure if I want to go back and add highlights. think some of these need some yellow in their stem. It's kind of a detail that I left out. Some of these were just hitting for a bitty yellow. So I'd color around the I don't know what the part of the flower where the pollen would be, but that's what I'm trying to color in right now. I do remember seeing that there was a section that needed some purple that I skipped over. This right here. Maybe just some of the darker green just to fill in that section. I dropped one of my markers. Ooh, almost hit my head on the camera. Because I've been convinced that adding the black isn't a bad thing, but I think I want to transition them into the darker green in this section over here. Okay. Anything else? I really want to just say everything's done, but I'll keep. But I also don't want to rush this. This is the last thing I want to do with this drawing. I've been so patient with it for the entire drawing, and I don't want to give up now. Let's grab that white highlight. I don't think there's anything on here that should be shining if I want to keep it a natural look. But we're going to try just a hint just to see how it looks. I'm actually going to need to get close to it. Darn wire. I think the bone would still be slightly reflective. Hold on. We're fixing it. Hold on. There we go. Just some very slight hints of the bone having some of its sheen to it. Not exactly sure why bones have a bit of a shine to them, but they do. At least the bleached bones do. I kind of assume it's just a natural aspect to them. Like they're just shiny because they're smooth. Okay, I think that's all the shine I want to give. All right, now I think I'm going to officially call this thing done. Let me just get one last look. Just for the sake of having a camera on it. And let's do probably the part everybody looks forward to when they're doing an art piece. Finally giving it a signature. There we go. I like to wait to do that because it's a little bit more rewarding once you do it at the end. So yeah, I'm gonna go in for zoom so we can just like slowly scroll over it. I think I did that once and it looked really nice. So you get a very good look at all the freaking details that went into this guy. This is just me using my hand. We're gonna do that one time, even closer, because I just have fun doing this. Anyway, there we go. That close, this close. There we go. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. I'm actually in a very good mood of drawing, but I think there's there's nothing else I could really do with this stream besides adding more sketches to our little friend over here, which I'm not entirely against, but let's just leave it while the time is high. Thank you for joining. I'll be here again every Tuesday. Next week I'll have to get to everything started for the next sketch, which will be sort of a Bloodborne themed drawing. It's going to be like a bunch of crooked buildings and some nonsense going on. Yeah, every Tuesday 6:30, and I'm going to be adding things to my YouTube channel and get all those links working after this stream. Yeah, thanks. Have a good day. Good night. Whatever you like.